Hello, everybody. Scott Golden with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel and the Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. We've got nearly 2,700 here on the Pro Wrestling Logic side of things. This includes the NXT review for the 17th of May 2022. I don't know why this show is on national television by any stretch of the imagination, but it is, and so we will cover it here. NXT results for this particular night. Two basic mob knockoffs are at war with each other with Legado del Fantasma and Tony D'Angelo's group. They face off this week. And we open the show with the tag team match, but Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams on their way to the ring. North American champion Cameron Grimes and Solo Sikoa defeat Hayes and Williams. Sikoa pins Hayes for his team. Hayes and Grimes meet in a title match at the In Your House thing in a couple of weeks. The match then settles into a story where Hayes and Williams work well together, which makes sense. Grimes and Sikoa are not a team, and so they miss a couple spots along the little bit here. They wrestle through a commercial break, and Williams and Hayes work over Sikoa. Hot tag to Grimes. Grimes cleans house. Crowd is alive for Grimes. Grimes then flies through the air crossbody, and he's on a roll. Sikoa blind tags in. Grimes bickers with him a little bit. Hayes cuts off Grimes. After a springboard forearm, however, Hayes plants the Uranagi slam to Sikoa, and then Grimes delivers cave into Hayes. Sikoa climbs turnbuckles, and Sikoa leaps off the top rope with Superfly Splash, covers Hayes for the pinfall for his trouble. Next up, NXT Tag Team Champions Pretty Deadly cut a promo on the Creed brothers backstage, and Mackenzie Mitchell is part of that mess. Thea Hall is featured video package for the new signee. She's 18 years old from Pittsburgh, graduates high school next week, but she's already signed to WWE. Hall said she'll attend college while training with WWE. Lash Legend defeats Tatum Paxley to advance in the Women's Breakout Tournament. I don't know why they're doing the Women's Breakout Tournament when they don't have enough women on the main brands, let alone this one. Legend pins Paxley in a first-round match. Legend advances into the semifinals. Legend traps Paxley in a stretch muffler. Legend continues working over the leg. Paxley escapes and fights back. Paxley then lifts her opponent into an electric chair, but then sells the knee. Paxley then tries a few more times to lift Legend. Legend counters with a high kick. Legend then covers Paxley for a 3 count. This is abysmal and does not belong on national television. Pre-tape promo from Tony D'Angelo with his henchmen. He tells them tonight he beats Santos Escobar alone, apparently meaning no henchmen are going to be needed to help him. And why have them there? The announcers plug tickets go on sale for Friday for the Clash at the Castle show in Cardiff, Wales. Announcers Joseph and Barrett then pitch to a package hyping to NXT going back on the road. With this team, probably not a good idea. Live events resume starting in June and running through July. All throughout the state of Florida. At least they're not traveling far. Duke Hudson, in a backstage interview with Mackenzie Mitchell, asks what's next for him. He says no one around is measuring up to him, which he's interrupted by Braun Breaker. Breaker then storms past Hudson. Hudson's not even there. Headed to the ring, Breaker aims to answer Joe Gacy's invitation. Gacy then challenges Braun Breaker for his trouble. Breaker reveals that Gacy left him in the wilderness after abducting him a few weeks ago. Gacy last invites Breaker to join the faction a last little while. Gacy also kidnapped Breaker at one point and holds him hostage, but we don't seem to want to ultimately acknowledge that. Gacy claims he's not here to start trouble with Breaker. On the other hand, he wants to fight right here, right now. Gacy attempts to bore Breaker into agreeing to a match. Gacy wants to up the stakes, so he asked a stipulation where the disqualification rule is waived for the champion. If Breaker's disqualified, he loses the championship. Breaker agrees, so that's the title match set for In Your House. Indy Hartwell does a pre-tape promo challenging Mandy Rose to a match. This is a really bad idea. Wesley has had a match scheduled for tonight with Zion Quinn, but postponed. Quinn is not cleared to compete. Lee cuts a promo on Quinn, and Nathan Frazier interrupts. In a polite manner, Frazier is replacing Quinn for the match. Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivor defeat the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus, with Roderick Strong and Damian Kemp in a three-way. Why is this match even happening? We don't know. Anyway, bout is certainly a hoss fight for its trouble. They cut to commercial. Brutus leaps off the top rope with a cannonball to the outside of the ring, a spot that doesn't make sense. Creeds are in control when the match returns from the break, because why not have the rookies in control? Raiders use instincts to counter the Creeds' explosiveness. Eric asserts Ivor and goes after Judas, avoiding to the slam in the middle of the ring. Judas then dispatches Eric with a German suplex, but moments later, Julius takes a bump off the top after being shoved off. Julius is able to roll away when Ivor goes to Superfly Splash him. Ivor then crashes and burns. Julius cradles him with a three-quarter cradle, but Eric is able to jump in the middle and make a save to break the count for his trouble. They face off in a stare down. A slugfest ensues. Damian Kemp distracts the referee. Roderick Strong tries to interfere, but Julius sends Strong out of the ring for his trouble. After the match, Strong gets yelled at. Jules turns around. He walks into a roundhouse kick by Ivor, attacked Eric, and the Raiders execute stereo power bombs on Julius. And there's a 3 count, so we didn't really get anybody over there. Santos Escobar is in a pre-tape promo. He has words for Tony D'Angelo. Tonight's one-on-one without Legado del Fantasma at ringside. Tiffany Stratton wants Grayson Waller to take care of this Andre Chase situation. She says this in a backstage skit that no one cares about. Duke Hudson confronts Braun Breaker in a parking lot after interrupting him earlier tonight. Breaker said they should settle it in the ring. Tonight, Hudson responds by saying next week instead. So Hudson against Breaker next Tuesday on NXT in what one would assume is a non-title match. I am already getting bored with this show, folks. Grayson Waller defeats Andre Chase with Brody Hayward. Waller pins Chase in an ongoing storyline that is here to fill time. Chase is doing well with backdrops. Sends Waller over the top. Chase rolls back into the ring. Waller strikes and rolls through. Pop-up cutter. Waller then covers Chase for a pinfall. Backstage gets Toxic Attraction. Mandy Rose accepting the challenge for the match against Indy Hartwell. Tension with the Diamond Mine, and they argue in the locker room. Pretty Deadly confronts Roderick Strong, leading to Strong challenging Pretty Deadly to a match next week against Strong and Kemp. Then Roxanne Perez defeats Kiara James to advance in the Women's Breakout Tournament. Perez pins James in the last first round match, and Perez will now face Lash Legends. Perez looks really, really good. Perez does selling for the much of the match. Perez counters into Code Red, and she scores a 3 count on James relatively quickly. Endros Onofre and Malik Blade spoof Escobar and D'Angelo as they do impressions of the two. D'Angelo's henchman Starks and Two Dimes confronts Endros and Blade. They set up a tag match between the two teams next Tuesday. Nathan Frazier and Wesley goes to a no contest. Wagner runs in to attack both men. Match is thrown out. Lee is thrown out. He takes a bump on the announce desk in the process. And then Wagner runs in and boots Frazier in the face. Wagner then tosses him from the ring. And Lee attacks this and ultimately doesn't lead anywhere. Wagner boots him in the face, and lifts Lee into a military press. Wagner then throws Lee out of the ring. Wagner stands tall in the ring with Mr. Uh, Cromwell is in attendance here. Then we go to Santos Escobar and Tony DeAngelis. But before that, announced card next week: Braun Baker, Duke Hudson, non-title. Women's champ Mandy Rose in a non-title match. Anderson Orfe, Malik Blade against Stacks and Two Dimes. Tag team champions Pretty Deadly against Roderick Strong and Damian Kemp. Non-title match. Alba Fabe, Electra Lopez, and Sanga and Wes Lee. As mentioned, Escobar and D'Angelo go at it. There's distraction. Escobar gets to shine brief moments. Match is blood feud between two families, basically implying mafias. Basically feels like a mid-card match and doesn't really have any heat behind it. D'Angelo works over Escobar to match. Goes through the commercial break. Comeback Escobar launches bunches of topes, and Escobar cuts off D'Angelo, and D'Angelo uses a bunch of belly-to-belly suplexes. D'Angelo soon cuts him off and sets up the high spot. They fight and perch turnbuckles, setting up Super Frankensteiner by Escobar. And then D'Angelo gets a hidden weapon, possibly a crowbar that he used in the past. He can't find that, so Legado del Fantasma appear at ringside. They've stolen the crowbar. Stacks and Two Dimes run and attack Legado del Fantasma. Two teams brawl around the ring. Meanwhile, in the ring, D'Angelo is distracted by the brawl at ringside. Phantom foreign object. D'Angelo falls like a stone, and Escobar covers him for the pinfall. Show closes with a promo from Joe Casey because he eventually hasn't said enough. Anyway, that's where we land. And we'll be back with more right after this.